It's supposed to be Mostafa, terrified that you're going to look into his text communication. And it's supposed to be the prosecutor who's telling you, look what I have. Instead, the prosecutor is terrified that you're going to look into the communication between Mostafa and Dorothy. And you have a guy in solitary confinement telling you, look into my communication. I loved my girlfriend. The question is, what's on Dorothy's cell phone that the prosecutor is terrified that's going to be released into the Mostafa Aljazari case? I think the best thing you do to find out is to put Mostafa's girlfriend under a microscope. Now, a couple of days ago, it's all over the news. They're telling us that the FBI and the Prince William County Police Department have had a multi-year investigation into the hotel off of Dumfries Road. They're investigating for drugs, and they're investigating for sex trafficking. All right. And they say they've been watching the hotel for years. Now, if you were the FBI, you would rely essentially on confidential informants, individuals that pretend they go in, pretend to be selling drugs, go in and pretend to be prostituting. And essentially, you're gathering information for the police and the FBI who's running this operation. You rely on confidential informants. What we're finding out is Mostafa's girlfriend, when Mostafa met his girlfriend, Dorothy Fontain, where was Dorothy living? Dorothy Fontain lived at that hotel. Now, all right, you asked me, so what does that have to do with anything? It could just be coincidence that she lived at the hotel. Well, hold on now. Dorothy Fontain wasn't just living at the hotel. I have information that Dorothy Fontain was taking pictures of anybody that comes into the hotel and leaves the hotel. She would sit there and take pictures of their license plates. Now, what does that look like? If you find out that I'm living at a hotel and I'm sitting there taking pictures of license plates of individuals that come into the hotel and individuals that exit the hotel, wouldn't you say that, hey, maybe I work for the police department? That, hey, maybe I'm an informant for the police? All right. Dorothy Fontain lived in that hotel, in and out of the hotel, and essentially lived in her vehicle. Wait a minute. What's a girl that essentially is homeless walking around with 3 cell phones? I mean, I can barely afford pay 1 cell phone. But here you have Dorothy Fontain, a mother of a 5-year-old, a mother of a 9-year-old, a mother of a 10-year-old, a mother of a 5, a 9, a 10, and a 14 that lived with her. And the 16-year-old was living with her, but also lived at her dad. Essentially lived at her dad. She's separated by CPS from her mother. Now, what's a mother who's essentially homeless, walking around with 3 cell phones, living in a hotel, and is taking pictures of license plates that enter and exit the hotel? And now we're finding out that the FBI has been watching the hotel and running a multi-year investigation. Can we say that Dorothy Fontain was a confidential informant for the police department? Absolutely. It walks like a duck. It quacks like a duck. It's more likely it's a fucking duck. Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant in the Mostafa Aljazari case? Well, it's relevant because Dorothy's cell phone dump is off limits. They refuse, the prosecutor and the police department refuse to have the cell phone enter Mostafa's case. And essentially, Mostafa's case is just won't move forward. Because you can't move it forward if you're not going to look at the cell phone communication between Mostafa and his girlfriend. You're accusing Mostafa that he hates his girlfriend. The first thing you want to do is go into the cell phone and find out what kind of communication did Mostafa have with his girlfriend. Were they good communication? Were they bad communication? I mean, you're telling us that he hates his girlfriend, right? So we're supposed to find something there. But the prosecutor is terrified. She says, absolutely not. By the way, that's illegal because Dorothy's cell phone is exculpatory evidence in the Mostafa Aljazari case. You have to put that cell phone into Mostafa's case. Let's go over to what the news is telling us about the FBI raiding the hotel off of Dumfries Road. The multi-year investigation that they've been running off of and watching the hotel off of Dumfries Road.
Tonight, we are learning about an FBI raid at a motel in Northern Virginia. Now, this was part of a sex trafficking and drug distribution investigation.
Sydney Persing has surveillance video of the operation. She's live tonight in Dumfries with what we know so far. Sydney.
Yeah, so there's a lot that we're still trying to learn tonight as investigators really are being quite tight-lipped as their investigation continues. But what we do know tonight from police is that they executed several search warrants here at this motel today and made arrests. And part of what they say is a multi-year-long investigation into not just sex trafficking, but as you said, drug distribution as well.
What's really interesting about what's going on the news is, Casey, thank you for being here. Send me a request. I'll bring you up. What's really interesting about what's going on the news is that they've been watching the hotel for sex trafficking and they've been watching the hotel for drugs. Well, what's interesting is the individuals they arrested, they didn't arrest them for prostitution, sex trafficking. They only arrested them for drugs. Now, wait a minute. You're watching the place for drugs and prostitution. And you're telling me you haven't arrested anybody for prostitution? What's going on here? And hold on, you're being tight-lipped? You don't want to say anything? Well, what if I tell you that I have the license plates, the pictures that Dorothy used to take at that hotel? Now, how do you think the FBI and the Prince William County Police Department is going to feel about that? I mean, essentially, I'm meddling with their investigation. Because if you have a confidential informant, a person that's been living at that hotel, a person that's been taking pictures of license plates that enter and exit the hotel, essentially, are we looking at a confidential informant for the police and the FBI? Absolutely. 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 Now, what does it mean when we start releasing the license plates of that confidential informant all over the internet? Is that going to tip off the person that the FBI is watching them? Are we going to release, is that license plate of another confidential informant? Well, we're going to release that license plate, and we're going to play a game here. We're going to have fun with this. We're going to look up that license plate. I have a lot of license plates. Apparently, Dorothy Fontain has been busy. Now, the police department, we're going to look up those license plates. We're going to find out who those license plates belong to. We're going to have a lot of fucking fun. Now, the FBI and the police department at Prince William County have not arrested anybody for prostitution. Now, the question is, why? You're telling me that you've been watching the hotel for years and you haven't arrested anybody? Wait a minute. Where does sex trafficking come from? I mean, the hotel off of Dumfries, all those girls that prostitute, Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. They strip at a local strip club off of Crystal City. That's right. Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. All those girls that prostitute at that hotel that the FBI has been watching for years, they strip at a local strip club. Crystal City Strip Club. Wait a minute. Is the owner of that strip club paying money into our county to not have the local FBI and the police department come after him? We're going to find out. Who owns that strip club? Is he paying money into our county supervisors and county officials to essentially not have anybody come after him? I mean, you're telling me that you're the FBI and you're the Prince William County Police Department have been investigating and watching that hotel for years, and you haven't arrested anybody that's doing prostituting off that hotel? That is just doesn't add up. You're investigating for sex trafficking. You've got prostitutes that are doing sex trafficking, and you haven't arrested anybody. Well, what's really interesting is when you find out that the owner of Crystal City Strip Club, is he paying money into our county officials? Well, let's take a look. This is you can look that up yourself. Let's see. If you go on vpap.org, this is public information. The owner of the strip club, our local strip club, that all the prostitutes strip at that hotel, they strip at the local strip club, Crystal City Strip Club. The owner is William Bain Jr. Let's zoom in so that way everybody gets to see the name of the owner. There we go. William Bain Jr. William Bain Jr. apparently has been busy. He's been busy paying off local officials in our county. He paid $5,200. That's interesting. And he split it right in half. $2,600 for the Republican and $2,600 for the Democrat. That's interesting. He paid $1,400 for Prince William County Board of Supervisors. Oh, how beautiful. So Billy Bain Jr., that strip club, paid $1,400 into our Board of Supervisors. Well, now we know when we go to the Board of Supervisors, that's why they look the other way. $1,000 to Governor Youngkin. The owner of a strip club is paying $1,000 to our previous Governor Youngkin. $500 to Abigail Spanberger. Oh, beautiful. So wait a minute. Youngkin is a Republican, but you're also paying a Democrat? Spanberger, Abigail Spanberger. Oh, interesting. Oh, he also paid $200 for Lieutenant Governor Sears, who's a Republican. That's interesting. $2,100 for a delegate. Oh, interesting. Beautiful. So you don't discriminate. Republican, Democrat.